Hey guys, it's OKB, and this is the Stacked Ninja tier list of 2022. Now, you guys will see that there are a lot of new ninjas, and there's a lot of old ninjas that are still pretty good, but you know, who knows who's going to make it on the list. If you compare this list to last year, because there was a video on this last year and it was very popular, of 2021, you guys will see a humongous difference. The top ninjas have been completely replaced, well, almost completely replaced. I think Paths Naruto with this breakthroughs went back on the list again. You know, there's a couple things like that, but like top ninjas have been very much replaced. Now, I am here with a Discord community, so if you guys take a look here, we actually did a practice stream of 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm trying to get this down to 30 minutes, and I hope I will in this recording. But you guys can go over to the description of this video. There's a Discord link to this Discord, and you can go to role requests to ask for the stream role if you want to be notified of every stream, including the small ones. If you prefer to be notified of only the big ones, then you can ask for, well, you can just not ask for the role, and I'll notify you. You'll also be notified of the published videos, basically every single video that comes out. Also, if you guys want to learn how to get ingots, you can ask for the ingot role here too, or just go to the Coffin Ingot channel. Either one works. Coffin Ingot channel on YouTube. Okay. If you want to go to that. Also, if you guys want to support me directly, you guys can use the Brave browser to watch this video. Okay. I'm going to go over each of these abilities or each of these ninjas quickly without too much on abilities, because you can read the abilities yourself. There's just too much to talk about, but I will compare and contrast many ninjas, because with each ninja that comes along, I have to compare every ninja with every other ninja and just trying to figure out which one is the best or better than the other one. There's also a lot of rock, paper, scissors going around here. I mean, the top one isn't, but there's a lot of rock, paper, scissors of this beats that, this is even with this, and then something lower will be something like higher. I'm just gonna have to base this on one versus one, some 3 versus 3, but like more 70% 1 versus 1, right? Because you get more rewards out of 1 versus 1 events in general. Okay, let's go and start. I'm gonna try to do this quickly, and if you guys want to learn about the abilities, go ahead and open up Kona Proxy or just the game itself and look at each ability. Each ninja's abilities. I'm going to assume that you know them, and if you don't, you'll kind of get a grasp on what they are. Okay, number 1 on the list is Susanoo Shisui. I should also mention that there's a lot of people on. I had a poll on here, and a lot of people put it on their list. So if you guys want to see that, go to the community, go to the channel, and then go to the community. So yeah, just go to youtube.com/coffinelement, something like that. And then you guys can take a look at the poll and then look at the comments, and you guys will see the list of other people. I took some inspiration from these guys, but I did not follow everything. And some people also thought that I meant value, which no, I'm not. I mean like just in battle, right? It would be too complicated to try to pull in value. It would take a lot more time. Okay. Now let's talk about Susanoo Shisui is number 1, and Susanoo Shisui basically has a lot of chases, a lot of increases, and he also has irremovable ignition, which a lot of his abilities, depending on which one you pick, but a lot of his abilities hit through dodge and immunity to status with his ignition. And he does have some healing, much like other metas with his mystery. He also lowers his mystery cooldown by 2 in round 2, which is good against any mystery cooldown support that attacks Shisui. For example, Takai Sugetsu, increasing the mystery cooldown by 1 won't work. Even Halloween Kimimaru will have a hard time doing so. Susanoo Shisui also has, I think, 1 dodge with one of his breakthroughs. And I think Super Armor another one, so it's hard to chase him and increase his mystery cooldown by a lot. Also, if he's similar to Six Paths of Pain, in which he gets an extra standard attack whenever he gets a status effect. Also, Taijutsu damage can increase his number of standard attacks, and he also increases the number of chases he has, and also increases attack ninjutsu with each chase. You add that all together. and it's a lot of scaling. And on top of that, his mystery also puts someone's mystery cooldown at 2 for 2 rounds, which is a lot of rounds. And he also increases initiative in round 2 as well, which is very big and high. So this is a team I put with him with all these abilities. Ronohaku actually increases his critical rate, which is kind of nice. And Jiraiya has this 15 combo chase that causes repulse, which actually works with Susanoo Shisui's repulse high chase, which also increases his attack and ninjutsu. It also causes sluggish, whatever that was. I think it was helpful, but not that important. But still, many abilities. All right, Susanoo Shisui, number 1. Nobody's surprised. He outgoes literally anything. Like he can defeat. He's literally like the. He's literally like when Six Paths Naruto came out. That's literally how he is. Similar to how Tendo's Obito was as well. And number 2 on the list is Tendo's Obito. And Susanoo Shisui does outshine Tendo's Obito. But you guys know this. Tendo's Obito has been out for a long time. He has breakthroughs. And his breakthroughs, first of all, he's immune to ninjutsu, which is great against Six Paths Naruto. He can still lose against Edo Madara if Edo Madara is faster and is able to suppress his immunity debuffs. But he heals a lot with if he's hit with ninjutsu, he heals a lot. He increases his critical rate a lot. He has some attack and ninjutsu increase abilities if he chooses to, but he has a chase that hits repulse knockdown and that hits really hard. And he every even round he hits everyone with a preemptive strike before anything happens, except for if you summon GNW Orochimaru. I guess that one's faster. But yeah, Obito, even if you control Obito every single round, Obito is still going to deal a lot of damage. His strength is in his defense and also some of his offense. Right, some of his offense will eventually overtake your opponent's offense. And oftentimes you might actually see Tendo's Obito versus Tendo's Obito turn out to be a 10-round battle if they're all really high level and have really nice supports. I put him with this sort of a team because once again there's repulse knockdown with Jiraiya and GNW Orochimaru. Also gives a lot of defense and resistance, and maybe lowering some defense with Minato here would be nice when you're trying to hit with Obito's attacks. Obito's both taijutsu and ninjutsu, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, this extra buffer is a pretty nice standard team for Tendo's Obito, except that Susanoo Shisui now kills them. So yeah, he is number 2 on the list still. Number 3 on the list is Edo Madara, and I'm not 100% sure he's number 3, but he is definitely up there. He has a lot of splash damage with his mystery attack. You probably want to run Edo Nagato with him so that it's a missable mystery attack. He's immune to ninjutsu damage, which puts him above Six Paths Naruto. He has an unmissable standard attack. He also heals ninjutsu, but he doesn't heal as much as Six Paths Naruto does, but he does heal some, so that's pretty decent. He has a chase that causes immobilize and also suppress immunity to status. However, that chase is not unmissable, so it's not going to work against Six Paths Naruto, but it's still better than Six Paths Naruto because of his immunity to status. And he can actually activate Fear on the other side of the field to stop their standard attacks as an alternative mystery attack, which is pretty nice. Now, he's Edo Tensei units, which means Edo Sasori will work well with him. Edo Nagato works well with him for the Rinnegan part, and this is a pretty standard team that you guys can use. He's immune to status, of course, and I think he does gain super armor. They've changed his abilities a little bit, but I think he still gains super armor after he uses his mystery. So that's kind of nice, right? And he also drains chakra, and just very, very strong position 1. He also increases his defense and resistance by 20% when he activates his barrier, which can activate if he's hit a lot, or if he's, or in even rounds, or in round 5, 2, 5, 10, or something, 9, 10. Forgot which rounds it were, but all of this makes him a very solid, uncontrollable, or he's controllable, but like it's hard to control him. He hits a lot in the beginning, splash damage. He really destroys the support very quickly, and that just puts him above most other ninjas. Now, Six Paths of Pain is very, very interesting. I was considering putting him as position 3, but I'm not too sure, so I put him as position 4. Now, I put him with this team because Edo Madara is actually a great support with him. He has a low knockdown chase with splash damage. Edo Madara as a support has reduction in damage dealt to him, also healing whenever he gets hit with a ninjutsu attack. So It's pretty nice, and also removing buffs is actually perfect for 6 Paths of Pain, because 6 Paths of Pain scales almost faster than any ninja, or he has the potential to do that. 6 Paths of Pain gets an extra standard attack when you deal a status effect on him. He starts off with mystery that's actually replacing the standard attack with 20 chakra, but if you have another 40 chakra, you can actually use his prompt mystery right away, and so you can technically use 2 mysteries in 1 round. And each time he attacks, he gets 15% attack for and ninjutsu for standard attacks and 10% for mysteries, and that's just a lot of offensive scaling. Now he heals 10% of his life, max life, when he uses his mysteries, so maximum of 20%. Which actually is less than most other ninjas, which is why I actually put him below Edo Madara here. But his offense is better than his defense. It's kind of skewed, so it really depends on if your opponent can survive the offense to deal enough damage to him, really. Okay, and this male Chikusoto basically gives him some extra buffing abilities. That's the team I wanted to show. Final Battle Hashirama, which a lot of people forgot about, is basically a charger. So he's very similar to Tendo's Obito. I think his critical rate increase is very similar. His mystery is like Edo Madara, very similar to Edo Madara. His standard attack is the only thing that's different from everything else. But yeah, Edo Madara plus Tendo's Obito plus 6 Paths of Pain, because he has level 2 immunity to status, which means almost nothing can hit him, or almost no status effect can hit him, except for something like Indra. Indra, which hits through everything. The ignition hits through everything. Or Rinnegan Sasuke standard hits through everything. But he automatically gets into this really powerful rage mode, which deals a lot of damage in round 2, or pretty much every even round. But I put him below Edo Madara here because if someone increases his mystery cooldown by 1, he's kind of screwed. Now he still does his damage pretty well, and he still will do his damage, but he won't be into his super chakra mode when he uses his mystery, and that's going to be round 3, odd rounds, and that can really throw him off. So he has this glaring weakness here, but he still does have the potential to beat every single one of these guys above him. So I will put him here, but he has some weaknesses, and that puts him lower on the list. Okay, I put Hokage's successor Here's in here because it was a perfect thing, because Hashirama also has a low knockdown chase, and if you cause a whole bunch of combo, in which Orochimaru is 4, Greninja Orochimaru is 4 because he summons a Minato that causes a lot of combo, then this cause low from 15 combo will do pretty well with Hashirama. And he also Konoha. I just kind of wanted to showcase how Hokage's successor Here's can be used here. Increasing attack is also nice for standard attack. So, okay. We have 6 Paths Naruto, which is self-explanatory if you've seen him in action. He does a standard attack. His standard attack reduces his mystery cooldown by 1, which literally means he probably can use his mystery every single round. And once he uses his mystery, he can heal ninjutsu damage. Now his mystery is not attacking ninjutsu, but his standard attack is, and it hits 4 people, which means he heals a lot, and he deals more damage. Also, each time he does a standard attack, he increases his ninjutsu by 15%, and that's a lot of, if your opponent uses a lot of mysteries, then he's going to get a lot of standard attacks. Now, the reason I'm putting this team out here is because Sasuke actually stops that with his breakthroughs. The fear factor stops the standard attacks, which is kind of nice, and so this is a pretty optimal team. But against against anyone who's not above him in this list, really, his ninjutsu damage will deal a whole lot of damage. However, he is weak against Edo Nagato damage, but at the same time, he will heal with his standard attack, even if he doesn't deal damage to Edo Nagato. That is a proven fact. There's a Consecration Kakuzu is just here to increase his ninjutsu resistance whenever he kills a unit, and that actually, his standard attack is pure ninjutsu, so that's a pure 30% increase. And the resistance is good against other 6 Paths Narutos. This is one of the most used ninjas in the game. Yeah. Okay, Kimono Shisui, I'm not 100% sure if he should be in position 7, but given that he does have irremovable ignition, he does have initiative increase, but he doesn't heal. He does have this reflecting status effect ability, which is very powerful. And reflecting status effects. If someone uses a support and you're reflecting status effects, there's no control fail here. But most units are immune to status in some way, so it won't reflect right onto their position 1. But he has a lot of he's the initiative game, really. He's the one who can interrupt everybody, right? He has irremovable ignition. He can't suppress super armor with a standard attack, but he can't do it with his mystery, which sometimes you need. It's kind of hard to say, but in terms of fighting against other not as strong position 1s, Kimono Shisui generally has an edge over them, except when you have some weird support. For example, if you have GNW Orochimaru increasing 100% defensive resistance, and I don't, then it's going to be difficult. But if I have it, then I might win. So, it's going to be. He's pretty decent. He can go against any of the old metas and win, including Earthquake Kakazu or Kushina or Habanero Kushina. And he also scales a lot with his ninjutsu, so that is pretty decent. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure he's number 7, but he's pretty, at least in the middle, at least number 9. Okay, number 8 on the list is Toshiya's Jiraiya, which is a very control-ish meta, and I'm also not 100% sure he should be in this list. Maybe he should be in number 10. But he has when you summon his barrier, he stops Edo Madara, first of all. Then he suppresses immunity to status to 2 people with extreme chaos, which can't be removed unless you have a certain amount of chakra. And that goes through until the next round as well. Now, it is a ninjutsu attack, so it won't work against, it won't deal damage against Edo Madara, but you will be able to stop him from doing anything, really. Also, his ability stops anyone with a barrier ability to mystery, which actually includes Edo Madara, so you're stopping his mystery at the very least. But this does not hit through dodge, so you probably want to run maybe possibly Wind Main to remove all. If you're fighting a 6-pass Naruto, you can remove the dodge with Wind Main and then try to make it so that Jiraiya can suppress chaos. But there's some risk here, really, because he's not immune to status. He doesn't have chase dodge. He doesn't have a lot of things. He's just some guy who can deal a lot of damage and reduce the resistance, and also cause repulse with the 15 combo. He also increases everyone's combo by 1, or every combo, the entire team's combo by 1. How many times they can do it? Their chases by 1, and that can actually deal a lot of extra damage. I would go for Katetsu. Take a moment to look at the color. But yeah, take a look at Katetsu, or not Katetsu, the ninja. But Katetsu, the chase card that I would actually think you would use with this team. Yeah, Katetsu here, increasing chase damage, would actually be a perfect one to use with Toshiya's Jiraiya. All right, and the Gengetsu Orochimaru is great because there's going to be a lot of ninjas with a lot of chases. Increasing the number of chases is nice. Indra will be nice here to just have ignition, a lot of control here, and if you're able to control your opponent and be faster, or just control them straight out, then you could win. You could win even against ninjas that are higher on the list. Just that control, that really supreme control that you guys can do. Okay, that being said, make sure to stack his control as well in case support ninja tries to control Jiraiya himself. Okay, Ten Tails Madara. A lot of you guys have seen this before. Ten Tails Madara has a lot of damage and his repulse knocked. He has unmissable. One of his breakthroughs allows him to be unmissable. He suppresses immunity to status, but one of his problems is that he does not cause repulse for his own chase. You need someone else to cause repulse for him, which is why I put Jiraiya here. Edo Itachi might be here just to go against 6-pass Naruto. He's not higher on the list. I mean, he would be higher on the list compared to 6-pass Naruto if 6-pass Naruto did not heal, but 6-pass Naruto does heal, so 6-pass Madara does hit a lot, and also he has complete dodge if he uses his mystery. Some really powerful abilities, some really powerful offensive abilities. His defensive abilities, is able to help him dodge, but no healing, and healing is a big factor, which is why I'm putting him number 9. I don't know, maybe put him a little bit lower too. I'm not 100% sure. But if you go for something like Kimono Shisui, for example, Kimono Shisui might deal less damage, but he'll cause ignition, and he will be able to heal with his support. If you run Lightning Main, you can run Leech and just run healing support, and that's going to beat out Ten Tails Madara. So that's why Ten Tails Madara is a little bit less good, I'll say. You can also suppress Ten Tails Madara's immunity to status. So that is a big thing for concern. Indra Otsuki, you guys have seen the Sage if you guys have followed my channel for a while. Indra Otsuki is once again just another control unit. He before every action in every round, he can hit everyone who's on fire, or he just hits somebody in the front row if nobody's ignitioned. If someone tries to hit him, they will be ignitioned, and it hits the immunity to status, which is awesome. And I think even the status reflect people will be hit by the ignition by Indra, so that's kind of nice. He also has some evasion until he makes a move, high evasion until he makes a move, so hits really hard. And he has this anxiety attack, which whenever somebody makes a move, they're gonna be hit by 10% of their current HP. So from 100%, the first time they move, they're gonna be hit 10%, gonna have 90% left. The second time they move, 10% of 90 is 9, so they're going to lose 9% of their HP. So they're going to have 81% of their HP left, and then 8, and then 7, and 6. So this is kind of good until like 50% HP. And then that's why we want to use GNW Orochimaru to give everyone a lot of defense and resistance first, and then attack and ninjutsu, so that Indra will at least have some damage. That ignition here is really useful just to stop people from healing, so that the low amount of damage that Indra does as a position 1 you can at least save it by not letting your opponent heal. That's basically it. But he can lose against other ninjas, though he's just very powerful in control. Jiraiya is another control ninja, so that's why I'm putting him here. GNW Orochimaru. Okay, big strength, big weakness. The weakness is that if he dies, all his clones go die with him. His strength is that he can summon clones, and even if he's controlled, the clones will continue to attack, and those clones don't die. And those clones are of the 4 Hokage. So Edo Minato first for defense and resistance, Edo Tobirama and Hashirama Edo Tobirama and Edo Hiruzen at the same time to increase 80% attack and ninjutsu, and also they activate their mystery whenever they're summoned. And then Edo Hashirama in round 3. If you have 3 ninjas on the field, actually 4 ninjas on the field, if you manage to get to round 3, you'll have like 4 ninjas with standard attacks and chases and all that stuff, dealing a humongous amount of damage, and they also scale and heal each other and all that stuff. So they also don't die, so it's pretty big, right? So I put Taka Hugo here because Hugo, remember Orochimaru is a curse mark person. So Hugo actually gives attack and ninjutsu for whenever his life goes down, you can go you can give curse mark units attack and ninjutsu, 1% for each percent life. Now, which means if Hugo dies in round 1, GNW Orochimaru will summon a guy with attack and ninjutsu increased by 100% in round 2 and 3, as long as GNW Orochimaru is still not controlled, I believe. Which is why I put the new 5th Hokage Tsunade breakthroughs and Water Main, just to make sure that Orochimaru is not controlled. Right? Okay. Ronin Zabuza, and actually I'm going to couple this with Edo Zabuza. Ronin Zabuza actually has an ability that can go against Paths Naruto, and I guess some of the other ninjas. Some of the other ninjas, like Edo Madara, you can go against Edo Madara too, because Ronin Zabuza, first of all, has super armor, so that's good against Edo Madara until the standard attack phase. But then you guys can... Ronin Zabuza basically activates in round 2, which steals standard attacks, which is crucial for Paths Naruto's healing, damage, and mystery cooldown. And I devised a pretty strong Ronin Zabuza team. I can go against standard Paths Naruto teams here, and that's why I put him in rank 12 up on the list. He is capable of stealing standard attacks, and a lot of these ninjas above him actually do rely somewhat on standard attacks, but especially Paths Naruto. So since this guy is a rock paper scissors that can go against a really high powerful Paths Naruto, then I'm putting him on the list. His mystery also interrupts, so you guys can go against Paths Naruto if you want. But Paths Naruto can suppress super armor, which is kind of why you want Giant Katsu on your lightning main here. But I put Kisame here actually as position 1 to just have nothing happen in round 1. This is a very unique team, and you can probably substitute it with some other ninjas, but the fact that Ronin Zabuza can go against Paths Naruto means that he deserves a spot on the list at least. Edo Zabuza as well. Edo Zabuza actually hits more and harder than Ronin Zabuza in round 1 in pretty much every single round. He can actually get an extra standard attack if your opponent gets an extra standard attack, but the problem is that you can get controlled pretty easily here. And that's the risk, that's the huge risk. So you can probably throw in Edo Sasori is a really good one to remove at least one debuff from Edo Zabuza if he gets controlled in some way. And he's going to hit a lot of 1 people. I think he'll have Bloodthirsty. So he'll kill the supports here first. But if you go against 6 Paths Naruto, the supports are going to be like Akatsuki Shinkakuzu, right? And so by the time 6 Paths Naruto kills one of your other ninjas, Akatsuki Shinkakuzu will increase 6 Paths Naruto's ninjutsu and resistance, which actually also increases 6 Paths Naruto's healing. Now it puts this sort of team with Root just to go against 6 Paths Naruto's standard attacks of resistance against ninjutsu. But yeah, Edo Zabuza has a lot of risk, and that's why I'm putting him a little bit below. But he does have the potential to kill a lot of ninjas. And it's not just 6 Paths Naruto, right? Edo Madara and all that stuff. It could work, but it's just risky. If your opponent has any sort of control, you could actually take out Edo Zabuza. In fact, you could also try to activate control first. You could try Takasogetsu position 1, but stack Edo Zabuza position 2. And something like that, or maybe Kimono Itachi. You guys will see a fun Kimono Itachi team later. Okay, not in this video, but in the future video. Rinnegan Sasuke is next on the list. I'm really just putting him here because he defeated most of the older metas, but he's also not good enough to be a current meta, so he's like in the middle. You can get Chaos if you hit him. You can get Feared if you hit him. So that's helpful. Edo Itachi with Breakthroughs is nice here, so it's going to be extra helpful for him now. I put C here as Lightning because he's also Lightning and you can heal. He gains power with Chakra, and that is pretty decent, but there's a lot of Chakra. Like his mystery, he doesn't have a way to lower his mystery cooldown, which is a problem. He's not into status, which could also be a problem. He has super armor, which is nice, but can be suppressed, which is kind of a problem if you don't have anything else, which is kind of why you want Edo Itachi here or something. He needs a lot of chakra, and there's a lot of ninjas that drain chakra or just limit the amount of chakra you can have at one time. That's also a problem. He has a standard attack that hits a line, which is okay. He has a chase that hits one person, which actually hits fairly hard. I guess he has a high chance of a critical hit, but there's a lot of chase dodge everywhere. So everything can be kind of countered by a lot of other ninjas, support ninjas, or position 1 ninjas. But he does have more scaling than, say, Kushina, Habanero Kushina. So that's why I'm putting him above the Habanero Kushina. He does win against Habanero Kushina. He does win against Kakuzu, or Earthquake Kakuzu, the old ones. Okay. Habanero Kushina is next. There's not much else to say. Suppress immunity to status, increase critical rate in ninjutsu, but not at the level of what we have today. She does heal. She's immune to ninjutsu, but that can be changed. You can suppress that immunity to ninjutsu with the position 1. So while she's decent, I just threw an old team with Shinichi Kimaru and Edo Itachi. Just critical rate increase for 2 rounds at least, get her to scale a little bit, suppress immunity for a little bit, and she decreases her mystery cooldown by 1 every single time she is hit, so it's kind of nice. 16 is Minato. Minato doesn't hit very hard, but he does have this 100% defense and resistance barrier, which actually runs into a lot of problems if someone changes the barrier. Any barrier changing ninja, even Kasame, Kimamaru, Senin, Jiraiya, Toa's Chance Jiraiya would absolutely destroy him because he can't use his mystery since he's a barrier ninja now. There's a lot of problems with that, but he's able to reduce people's defense and defense or cause them enfeeble, also cause tag ignition. He does increase his attack ninjutsu a little bit, but it's not a significant amount. The only reason he's actually up on the list is because he does have the 100% defense and resistance barrier, which can sometimes work, sometimes be very strong. And his standard attack is a pure taijutsu, so lowering people's defense, might give him a really strong standard attack, but it's just not enough attack, offensive power, in my opinion. Okay, put Christmas Kushina to give him more offensive power, Edo Sasori to give him extra defense and offensive power, really. And that's really just how it should roll, really. I think this is a pretty fair team. You're really expecting... This is really on... I guess if you go against 6 Paths Naruto, you're gonna fight against no barriers with the Rinnegan Sasuke and Katsuki Shinkakatsu. So I mean, this could work as a team. You can lower 6 Paths Naruto's resistance to a point where it doesn't make any sense. All right, to like 0%, and he'll hit a lot of damage. Sure, I guess that could work. Okay, Sage Kabuto is next on the list. Sage Kabuto, I put this really interesting team here. Sage Kabuto revives people with the standard attacks. He also gains a lot of attack and ninjutsu with when people die, when any ninja dies in the field, which heals him and gives him chakra. He can also, with his breakthroughs, remove all debuffs every single round in the beginning of every single round. The problem is that can be removed if he is slower than your opponent. He gains immunity to debuff with his mystery too, but your opponent might just remove that debuff. So 6 Paths Naruto will remove that debuff. Yeah, that's a big problem here. Also, he's not immune to status until he uses his mystery, really. So removing his own debuffs is nice, but it's not as good as just being immune to debuffs, right? Or I mean, I guess it's situational. He can continually revive people, so I figured just continually reviving Hiruzen and Tsunade, and then having because when Hiruzen dies, he has this suicidal attack that deals a humongous amount of damage. But then if he revives, you can use Wind Mane to reset that and do it again, and that could be a massive amount of damage. I figured it'll be fun to play that with Rizzo Tsunade, who also can revive and heal Sage Kabuto, later on, right? You might want to put like a assist card or Kisame to have enough chakra with this one, because you might get trained in chakra. Ashura Otsusuki is pretty nice. So he has level 2 immunity to status, which means only those unmissable, undodgeable mysteries like Sasuke and Indra can affect him. He reduces defense and resistance on your opponent's side, but whenever he's hit, he increases his own ninjutsu and resistance. But that ninjutsu resistance resets at the end of the rounds, so it's not a lot of actual scaling. It's just a lot of this is just it. This is how much scaling you get, and that's it. And that makes him not so strong, but he does have a pretty strong mystery ability that suppresses immunity to debuffs and causes enfeeble, which makes them unable to deal a lot of damage at least for that round. He technically does get a little bit more damage with his standard attack, which hits everybody, or at least 4 people, and because he reduces defense and resistance. He does increase the number of chases, which actually ignores a lot of defense and resistance, but there's a lot of chase dodge as well, so it's a little bit difficult. For him, I just put it with Indra to have ignition, so just to hopefully get it so that people are ignited, and then you're going to reduce the defensive resistance, and when they hit you, you're going to deal a lot of extra damage to them. And Edo Hashirama is here for the senjutsus, reducing mystery cooldowns and also reducing their attack and ninjutsu. It's a very balanced approach, but not the best, but also still kind of decent. Okay, he's not better than most other ninjas. Zetsu is here for one very simple reason. I know we said goodbye to Zetsu, but the reason Zetsu was nerfed was because stronger and stronger ninjas were coming out, and if you're able to copy the stronger ninjas, Zetsu would really destroy. And the whales complain about it, which, screw them, man. Have Zetsu. Zetsu's the fun guy. They just want to win, but really Zetsu, even though you can summon 3, you can only summon 3. If you can have summon 3 6 Paths Narutos, you can summon 3 Edo Madaras. Or actually, Edo Madara doesn't, as a summon, isn't that great. You can summon 3 10 Tails Obitos. You can summon 3 really any of the best ninjas. Now, obviously, there's luck involved, but if you're able to do that and activate in round 1, which you can, this is why I put Swimsuit Konan. She has a pretty good 10 combo chase, which you guys can probably activate with Karen or standard attacks of this Konan. Then you can probably summon 3 random. It's like a this jackpot sort of move that you guys can try out. You can this is like a very good free-to-play mirror team in Matsuri if you want to try it out. Okay, level number 20. I was deciding between Kisame and Gengetsu. I decided to go with Gengetsu because even though Kisame lowers his cooldown every single whenever he's hit. There's a lot of teams that don't hit a lot, or they focus more on one ninja, and then Kasame won't be able to do anything except standard attack. On the other hand, Gengetsu has a lot of, well, first of all, he has chase dodge, which is good against any immobilized chase that might be going good against him. He also gains chakra when that happens. He has the potential to hit a lot of times if you can cause repulse, which is also why I put Jiraiya here, because Toshin Jiraiya causes repulse with 15 combo, and Gengetsu can cause a lot of combo, so that could work. Gengetsu is not immune to status though. He has the chase dodge. That's kind of why you need Edo Sorcery here, or Earth Main with Giant Katsu, Summon Mystery to remove debuffs on this guy. You also want control on that guy. He can hit a lot of times. He can technically kind of assassinate some people with these abilities, but it's okay. I think he's just okay, a free-to-play sort of thing you guys can try. He's a little bit hard to get. I guess not so much because of Infinite Illusions, but he's still fun to play around with. And yeah, he could fight against some of these people above him if you really assassinate somebody. Keep in mind you can probably use Takesuketsu and Mangetsu with him. Okay, guys. So this is my top 20 list. If you guys disagree, comment below. If you agree, also comment and just tell me, oh, hey, everything's good. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people going, hey, why isn't this ninja here? Tell me, because I really do want to know, and I think a lot of other people will want to know as well. Okay, let's get on over. Any last comments from the people? There are some comments. Let's see. Indra Madara. Okay, so Rob is saying there's some sort of crazy team with Tendo or Six Paths of Pain. He wasn't able to really express it. I'm not really sure what you would do with it, but I guess there's some sort of secret team with Six Paths of Pain. If you guys know it, go ahead and comment on the video. I think that's it. So guys, tell me what you guys think. Do leave a like on this video. This did take quite a while to record. I had to do 90 minutes and 30 minutes. And see you in the next one.